Comedy Bronze runs on eco-friendly banker oil. Welcome to Comedy Bronze. We are your hosts, Chris and Sean. What's
I'm
up, Sean?
also here. Hi,
Yeah.
Chris.
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Oh, it's been a big week for Comedy Bronze.
Has it?
Yeah, due to massive laziness and incompetence on my part, last week's episode didn't end up going out until yesterday.
On the plus side, though, you put out an extra episode for everyone.
We did. Have you listened to the extra episode?
Not yet. I'm going to listen to it when I do some dishes in a little while.
Yeah, it's not great.
Oh, really?
It's the second one we ever recorded.
Oh, so it must sound really bad.
It doesn't sound too bad, because I think I cared more then, so I fiddled around with the settings a little more, but it's not, we go on about... I say go on about... We exhaustively list and discuss the casting choices of the World of Warcraft movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is so boring.
You know, they just released some images for that in the last week or so.
Really? How did the orcs look? Because that was the only thing I would talk about, how I thought CG orcs were going to look dumb.
It actually looks really good. Like, just look it up right now.
I'll look it up after the show.
It looks really good. If anyone else out there hasn't seen those images yet, they're on IMDb and a bunch of other places as well. You can see Thrall in all his thrally glory.
That's cool.
He looks really good.
Does he?
Yeah, he actually does, and it's weird.
Is it like the Warcraft Adventures game that we never got?
No. He actually looks like an orc from the cinematics for WoW.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. So, obviously it's been a really good melding of CG and amazing makeup to make him look like that.
Good on you, Blizzard, and whichever filmmaker is schlepping through the mud with them. But, 2 episodes in a week is not the only milestone Comedy Bronze has struck.
What else did we do?
Well, now we have an email address, Sean, and people can write in with their thoughts and opinions.
Wait, seriously? You didn't tell me this?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Didn't I?
No.
I told you on Skype like yesterday. Yeah, we have an email address. It is thirdplacejoke@gmail.com.
Thirdplacejoke@gmail.com.
And we will read literally anything you send us. Anything. Anything at all.
Oh, you did send it to me. I'm a total fucking liar.
We actually already have one email. Since I told a certain someone that we had an email address before the episode went live, but I'm not going to... It was totally Carl. Hey, Carl. Carl remarked that how he feels about... He doesn't know how to feel about being mentioned so often on the show. So I'll mention him again. Hi, Carl.
Oh, that reminds me. He sent me a pretend letter last night.
A pretend letter?
You know, like as if he was writing into us.
Oh, he sent that to you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the one I got.
Okay, you got that as well.
Yeah, he sent that to... the Comedy Bronze email address as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately we're not going to read that this week, Carl. We're going to give some other people time to write in.
Oh, okay.
So we'll probably do a big mailbag segment next week.
Oh yeah, with all our hundreds of emailees.
Oh yeah, no one else will have written in and we'll all feel like dicks.
Yep.
I say we all. Probably just me.
Probably.
So yeah, that was Comedy Tinfoil, I've decided to call it, which is the old episodes that we never ended up publishing.
Is it also because it sounds like we're trying to record it through aluminium hats?
It does.
Okay.
It does. So there's probably going to be a lot more of that, as I realized we have way more monthly bandwidth than we actually need.
Yeah, we discussed this before we started as well.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't figure out what to do.
I was working from bad data because I thought, oh yeah, broadcasts are 100 meg each. Like, yeah, Chris, they're 100 meg when you don't compress them properly, you idiot.
Or if you're doing them in like FLAC format.
If you actually compress them like a sensible person, they're all very small. So now that that's out of the way, what are we doing in segment 1 today, Sean?
We're gonna pick up same sort of thing as last week because it seemed to work so well. We're gonna do a little bit of news. I'm not gonna try and overdo it like I did last time. But first, cab off the rank, WildStar is going free to play. Yeah, so that was an MMO, if you don't know about it, that Chris was really excited for.
I was so excited for WildStar. Oh my god.
And we played it I played it for about over an hour, 2 hours, and it was okay. I actually found it a little bit boring.
Wildstar was basically, come to space, there's weird stuff.
Yeah.
It basically hooked me with one exquisite trailer.
It's
put out.
The cinematic that they put out, the teaser cinematic thing.
Yeah, the teaser cinematic looked amazing. They're like, yeah, we're doing things. We've got more action-oriented combat. We've got this. We've got that.
We've got that. We've got Tara Strong voicing a bunny girl.
We've got Tara Strong voicing Madame Rabbito.
Yeah,
not her real name.
No.
And I thought, yeah, this could be good, but I failed to think because I'm stupid and I don't learn from past experiences.
World of Warcraft.
Which is that. No, not World of Warcraft, DC Universe Online and Guild Wars, which is that any MMO that does not have World of Warcraft-style combat is completely unplayable in Australia.
Yeah.
Because network latency will just shit in your Cheerios.
Although, to not be fair, I found out something interesting this week that you can do with your registry files to reduce ping a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I changed a couple of details in my regedit, and I'm an elite hacker. Don't know if you know this. I got mad skills, Chris.
What keys did you change? What were the values originally? What did you change them to? And how is this meant to help?
I changed them from 0 to 1, or from 1 to 0.
Right. So you're turning settings on and off. What were they?
Hang on, let me bring them up.
This is probably good.
Let's get seriously technical. It was. We go. Trying to remember where they were.
Well, the podcast is ruined. Well done, Sean.
There's just a couple of things about TCP IP protocols.
Sounds bullshit to me, but
it dropped my Diablo 3 ping by like 60.
By 60 milliseconds?
Yeah.
Fuck off. No way.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Send me the link.
Yeah, all right.
I can read and be incensed by it.
Apparently it's a workaround that's been in there for ages.
I'm cutting this entire segment out. This is completely pointless.
No, it's fine. So, MMOs.
WildStar specifically.
Well, WildStar specifically, and then I wanted to go on from there and say, how long do you reckon it'll be before WoW goes free-to-play?
Never.
You don't think it'll ever go free-to-play?
No.
Ever?
No, WoW doesn't need to. Because WoW at this point just is basically just the heroine of video games.
Right.
Like, the only people still playing it are people who've been playing it for 10 years. Like, no one starts playing WoW.
That's not true. I have a friend of ours at work only just started this year. He's never played it before.
That's incredibly baffling. All right, well, I've been scienced into silence. No, but well, their population has oscillated around a very, very large number.
Well, apparently they lost another 3 million.
I'm not at all surprised, but when your subscriber base is 10 or 13 or whatever it is. Because I remember when it got to 10 million, they said, 10 million, and then they said nothing about their subscription numbers for a decade, and then they came out and said, it's still at 10 million. So, as long as it oscillates around 7 to 10 million, I think they're still making money and able to keep it going.
I think it's down just below 7 at the moment.
The problem with all the other MMOs, like the reason they go free to play is because like they get 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it's not enough. They need to strip it down.
All right, here's a question for you.
Mm.
Is there an IP large enough to garner that many subscriptions? Again, a comparable number to what WoW had in the heyday.
Prior to 2 years ago, I would have said Star Wars. But then the Old Republic came out, and it was an utter shambles. Well, and went free to play in 3 months or however.
Yeah. And the thing with that is, I think, since people have been burned by Star Wars games over and over and over again, I don't think it ever would.
It's not about finding the right IP. I don't think it was ever about that. I think World of Warcraft succeeded. I must have said this before. World of Warcraft succeeded because it just rolled up and was the absolute best at being EverQuest.
Right, yeah.
It stole EverQuest's lunch entirely because EverQuest looks like total crap by comparison. It has none of... Even though early WoW was lacking much of the convenience that it has now, it still made EverQuest look like total trash.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of people's first exposure to MMOs, and it broke all the records and blah, 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 blah. No, and nothing like that is ever going to come along and be new and great again. Unless they actually find a new, exciting way to do an MMO, which doesn't require them to just make WoW.
Well, my guess would probably be, it would be a very recognizable IP. I'm not saying that IP has even been invented yet, or had a game made about it, but I think it might be some MMO or MMO-style game with VR.
No, I don't think VR will probably lend itself very well to MMOs.
You sure?
Well, VR doesn't lend itself well to character movement at all.
Have you seen those things where they strap you into the weird, like, body harness and you run your legs on those weird treadmills?
Yeah. The Omni, whatever it's called. Yeah, but most people can't afford those and won't have one in their home.
No one can afford those.
No. I mean, Valve's extremely fancy VR rig only works within one room.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's as big as the virtual space can be. Star Citizen, I think, might be the last great swing at the MMO apple.
Who's that made by again? What's that chap's name?
Chris Roberts.
That guy that we met well, not met, but we saw him last year, and he was kind of a dick to those people from
that guy whose behavior I found objectionable.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure, they work for giant, faceless, evil corporations, but those people were nowhere near the decision-making process for those big, evil corporations. And he was kind of a dick to them.
Yeah, well, it's not just that he was taking really easy shots. This was at PAX last year, by the way.
Yeah.
We went to a panel on the future of PC gaming.
Yeah.
And they had a representative of BioWare, a representative of Ubisoft, and Chris Roberts.
Yep.
And I think this was just before the Assassin's Creed Unity debacle.
Yeah.
But Ubisoft has been bad at PC ports for a very long time, and Chris Roberts amused himself during the panel by taking very, very easy shots at the poor old Ubisoft representative in a room that was like openly hostile to the man, and he had absolutely no chance to defend himself. It was pretty shitty.
It was really unfair, and some of the things that even the people in the audience were saying were a little bit unfair. I mean, admittedly, some things were genuinely funny. I'm not going to deny that there are a couple of things that Ubisoft has done, even in the last year, that are just funny because they're so dumb. But taking direct shots at this one guy who was like a marketing director for Australia and Australia only.
I think that's accurate. I think he was a little higher level than that, but still, he was not. It's not his fault the games are bad.
No, he didn't have anything directly to do with the games.
Yeah. It was that I objected to, and also he said a bunch of ridiculous bullshit about how the job of games is to showcase the hardware. How oh yeah, we're really doing that here at what's it called? Something Space Industries? Who cares?
Yeah.
Roberts Space Industries. That's probably what it's called.
Roberts Space Industries.
No, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. So Star Citizen there are really only two ways. Three actually.
Okay.
They're just broadening it out. Way one is that it never comes out. I am banking pretty heavily on it never coming out.
Well, it's in for the people who backed it. You can have access to part of it at the moment.
Yeah, I think the dogfighting module is. For those not in the know, Star Citizen is this gigantic, madly ambitious space MMO.
Yeah.
It's like Eve, but with direct flight controls. You'll be able to fly spaceships around and do stuff.
Unless accounting.
It has currently received something like $50 million in crowdfunding alone.
That's a lot of money.
Their business model at the moment is basically just to sell spaceships to people. Virtual spaceships that don't exist for hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Hey, it works for The Sims.
They waited for them to exist first, I think you'll find.
Yeah, that's true.
And they never charged more than $5 for anything. It is Roberts Space Industries, yeah.
Okay.
So it'll either never come out, which I'm pretty sure it's not going to come out. But if it does come out, it will either completely revolutionize MMOs, because it will be a new, bold, exciting thing, or it will crash and burn like every MMO since 2006 has done, and quietly fade away to a free-to-play nothing.
Right. And in the meantime, we'll have No Man's Sky.
In the meantime, we will have No Man's Sky.
Which I read a fact about. Apparently, the version of it that will be released at the end of this year will have 18 quadrillion planets in it.
Now,
it sounds made up.
No, that's fine. I
said that to Kate, and she's like, that's not even a real number.
It's like how Borderlands has a billion guns.
Well,
It's technically true, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make the game good. You'll never see all those guns. You'll never visit all those planets.
No, like you'd have to play every second of your life for the next 8 iterations of your life, if such a thing exists.
You would need to visit a planet a second from now till the heat death of the universe, and you still wouldn't get to them all.
Yeah. It's a lot of planets. It honestly sounds made up.
Fact check my numbers, you bastards.
Okay. Speaking of bastards, I heard some interesting news during the week. Now, I don't know how things go down in England, but from popular TV and movies, it makes me think that trucks get stolen there a lot.
I don't think they use the term "go down" an awful lot in England.
Anyway, trucks get stolen a lot in England. Apparently, well, not apparently, a truck was stolen during the week in the UK, but this particular truck was full of pre-ordered copies of Splatoon and Splatoon amiibos.
Oh no! Oh, those are going to be worth so much money.
Exactly, but the problem is that the theft of the truck, well, it was taken from the Nintendo European warehouse.
Yeah.
Of the British chain, which we briefly had here, Game.
I remember Game.
Yeah, it means that anyone who pre-ordered the special edition from the retailer isn't getting a copy.
What? They're just not making. They're not making anymore because the truck has been stolen.
The truck has been stolen.
That's incredible.
Every single copy of the special edition was in that truck.
Well, won't that make it kind of hard to sell? Because if anyone puts a special edition of Splatoon up on eBay, they should get the police at their door 5 minutes later, because that's the only place they could have gotten it.
Yeah, pretty much, but all they need to do is just not sell them online.
Then how are they going to sell them?
I don't know.
Well, you said all they need to do. I thought you had a simple solution. Trading post, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Remember the trading post?
Newspapers don't know what's going on. They don't know about games.
What's a Splatoon?
But you know what their
I don't even chew tobacco.
What Game's response to this was?
Sucks to be all of you.
Yeah, they said that affected customers can either cancel their orders or receive the game's standard edition along with a £10 discount.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is EB Games level of shittiness.
Well, it's the same business model as far as I know.
Yeah.
But it's just the thing is, the way you got to think about it, Chris, is there's only two ways that this occurred. Way number one is these were just a bunch of burglars who were just going to go with whatever truck came out of this shipping district at this time that looked the least guarded, and we'll go in and we'll jack the truck and we'll gun it and we'll try and sell whatever's in it. Or two, they knew the truck was coming and they knew what it had in it and they targeted it specifically.
Yeah, it reeks pretty heavily of inside job.
But exactly like what you said, what are they going to do with that stock? They can't do anything with it. They might be able to sell the amiibos in 6 months.
All they need to do is not sell it in the UK. You can move it overseas.
Well, that's right. That's true. UK editions work here.
This would be a great film. Well, no, the amiibos aren't region specific. That's where all the money is. The money is in the amiibos, not in the fucking games.
Yeah.
Amiibo. Oh, God, let's talk about fucking amiibos.
Okay.
Amiibos cost too much. The end.
I had heard that. I heard that they're really big with the kids these days.
They're not so much big with the kids as they are big with the 30-year-old adults.
Oh, so
who
us?
Want to have them? Yeah.
But I don't care about them.
No, well, you're in the minority.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like I remember Skylanders when Skylanders first came out.
I remember
all the toys instantly vanished from toy store shelves into the pockets of people who are too old to be playing Skylanders. And the same thing has happened with amiibos, and Nintendo has made far, far too few of them.
Right.
And so the scalping prices on eBay and stuff are just astronomical. Talking hundreds of dollars for... Let's be fair, though. The amiibos are very high-quality figures.
Well, it just seems so weird. Like, the only real purpose... What is the actual purpose of them?
They unlock features in some games, but that's not really why anyone wants them. People want them because they look cool and because they are collectible. I'm going to out myself right now. I don't really understand the collecting of anything, really, other than books. Hey, Europe.
Yeah?
Guess what I'm doing right now?
Are you looking for amiibos?
I'm on ebgames.com.au.
Yeah.
I'm just buying a pack of Splatoon amiibos.
Oh, really?
$50.
Wow, okay. That's not good. I wonder how long it'll take for them to get new ones, because I mean, I knew about, with the amiibos from Smash Brothers, that it was months before they had any new ones on the shelves.
Yeah, well, they ran into a really bad supply bottleneck. Apparently they just have hundreds of them in Japan that no one is buying, and the rest of the world has none.
Okay. Is it a white people thing? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know. Look, some students want to take this to a racial place, but I won't let them.
Yeah, thanks, Principal Vagina.
I just read an amusing tweet.
Yeah.
No Pornhub. I don't want to share this with Google+. I don't want people to know I use Google+. That's from Anna Pulley, whoever you are.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. But
I should clarify, that was not directed at us. I just saw that on my Twitter feed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we're not Pornhub.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not Pornhub.
Anyway, yeah, that's a couple of things that happened this week that I thought were interesting.
What were we even talking about? No, I want to talk about the movie based on the Great Amiibo theft.
Well, why don't we table that for another segment, and we can talk about how we would write that film.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back, guys.
You there? Can anyone hear me? Look, I suppose it doesn't matter. Look, if you can hear this transmission, it means that... I'm not sure how much longer I have before they find me again, but you need to know this. They are coming. They know exactly how to get to you, so your only defense is to get out of there.
Welcome back to Finkelmeyer and the Floater. Coming up in the next hour. All right.
And we're back.
Yes, we are.
Sean, I just want to congratulate you on... okay, some time has passed. We've both had dinner. I've had a beer.
Yeah.
And Sean went and made his sketch.
I did.
In the break.
I did.
And he sent it to me, and you've just all enjoyed it. And I hope you all got as big a kick out of it as I did.
I don't know. It's no clonesome, but it'll do.
Sean begins to rank his interstitial sketches. Sketches.
I'm only funny in very small bursts, so when I get it right, I'm quite happy with it.
This new batch of episodes is pretty frustrating for me because I think some of my best sketches are in the unreleased episodes.
Well, why don't you just cut them out and stick them in these?
Because I kind of don't want to. Ooh.
It was weird.
Yeah. Oh, did my volume just go up?
It went up, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Never mind.
That doesn't matter. Yeah, I kind of don't want to because then it'll ruin the... You know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And you can all just hear them twice. Yeah. You can hear them once in the original garbage episode they're from, and you can hear them once in this new good episode.
Yeah. In which we talk about how to write a film about stealing Splatoon amiibos and special edition copies.
Yeah.
Which we're doing now, apparently.
Which apparently we're doing now.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, I think the scene that appears in my head is the bit where the thief tries to explain to his fence why these things are valuable.
I'm getting a very Lock, Stock vibe, so obviously we need to get Guy Ritchie in to direct.
Oh, yes. This will be the thing to fix his career.
Yeah. Although,
didn't
Rock and Roller kind of do that for him?
No, Rock and Roller made no money.
Oh, but it was really good.
It was really good, but no one went to see it. No, Rock and Roller actually ended his career.
Oh, what?
After Rock and Roller, he's just made Sherlock Holmes films and other like franchise bullshit.
Oh.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie as the creative spark that you saw in movies like Lock, Stock, and Snatch, and Rock and Roller, and Revolver. Revolver is an extremely personal film,
right?
About a bunch of nonsense.
Okay,
but it is still way more enjoyable than 90% of Hollywood pap. Yeah, that's all gone. He just makes the movies they tell him to.
Well, I mean, to be completely honest, Chris, basically he just made 3 different versions of Lock, Stock.
I don't think that's quite fair.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think they're 3 very good versions of Lock, Stock, but there's still 3 versions of pretty much the same film.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, right.
They're very similar films.
He addresses different themes and different.
That's true.
Types of characters in each one. But you're right. They all have the same premise, which is there is an object of value, and it's been stolen.
Yes.
Let's observe these 8 different groups of characters
and Vinnie
as they
Jones.
scramble to find it. And Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones.
Is Vinnie Jones in Rock and Roll? He's not, is he?
I don't think he is. I think he.
No, he's
it would have been
not.
great if he was. Oh, speaking of which, I told you about Gallivant.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
Vinnie Jones.
Tell the people what Gallivant is.
Vinnie Jones is in it. Yeah, exactly. So anyone who hasn't seen Gallivant, I don't know how easy it is to find here in Australia. You might be able to stream it, but it's basically just like medieval musical. Imagine Men in Tights, the TV show.
So is it like Camelot? Is Camelot a medieval musical?
Kind of.
I don't know. I haven't seen Camelot. You're gonna have to tell me.
No, it's not.
Have you seen Camelot?
Are we talking like the 1980s film?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not a musical.
Not that I remember.
Oh.
I didn't.
Why did I assume it's a musical?
I saw it when I was like 10, so I don't really remember. Or am I thinking of Excalibur?
You might be thinking of Excalibur.
I might be thinking of
You
Excalibur.
might be thinking of Legend with Tom Cruise in it.
No.
Remember Legend?
No, I know Legend. I actually like Legend.
So, all I can remember from Legend is higher, higher, burning fire, making music like a choir.
Well, I like Legend because it's got, what's his face as the devil.
Who's the devil?
Dr. Frankenfurter.
Tim Curry?
Yes. Tim Curry is the devil. Why would you not love that film? If you don't love Legend, it's probably fine. But you and I have some philosophical disagreements.
About Legend or about Tim Curry?
About life.
About life. I don't know why you're bringing that up now. I'm with you. Legend sounds great.
No, I'm talking to the audience at this point.
Oh, I see. Right. Sorry.
About Legend. If you don't like Legend or Tim Curry as the devil, specifically.
There was this whole period where they made like fantasy films.
It was basically that was the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, there was Labyrinth, there was Legend, there was Dragonheart.
Yeah. Oh, Dragonheart came much later though.
No, it's the early 90s.
No. That's mid to late 90s because that had CG in it. That had CG dragon. CG Sean Connery dragon.
They had CG much earlier. Remember, Labyrinth has the really bad CG owl.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, you're right. Dragonheart is 96.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but yeah, there was a period that there was definitely an end point where they stopped making fantasy films.
I think it's basically because Lord of the Rings came out and everyone was like, oh, okay, well, we can't afford that kind of a budget.
Yeah, that's done now.
Well, yeah, it kind of...
But even Lord of the Rings came after they'd sort of stopped.
Yeah, that's true. When was the last really decent fantasy-only film? Like, the last sort of 10 years has just been science fiction. Like, in the other genre.
Well, I mean, all the Hobbit films suck. I think we can agree on that.
I liked a couple of scenes out of the first one.
Yeah, someone actually did do a 3-hour supercut of the Hobbit films.
I heard about that.
Condensed them down into a coherent narrative. I haven't seen it yet, but I think I'd like to. I think that might rescue the undertaking for me. Because Martin Freeman is a great Bilbo.
Oh, he's fantastic. And I mean, you can't go wrong with fucking Sir Ian fucking McKellen as Gandalf.
Yeah, also Christopher Lee is somehow not dead and also in it.
Man, that guy is super old.
Yeah. I mean, he shouldn't be in it because his character has no place being there.
Well, yeah, it's true.
He's there. Oh, the scene with Gollum in the first film, that's incredible.
Oh, that is amazing. Andy Serkis. Just all around. Can you edit Chris put in some applause just right there for Andy Serkis?
Absolutely. I'll consult the totally existing sound library I have.
You have the internet. So
true.
You could do that. Or you could just, like, clap and then layer your claps over each other.
I could. Now, if I could just podcast about the podcast.
Okay.
I'm only, in all my interstitial bits, I'm only ever using Kevin MacLeod music.
Okay. Wait,
And
Kevin MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod?
Yeah. Father of Connor MacLeod.
Okay.
The Highlander.
Yeah.
And he has I think it's a Creative Commons attribution license.
Right.
On his music, which is basically as long as you credit him, it's okay to use it.
Yeah.
Which is why all the show notes have music credits in it. Where are you getting your music from, and is its copyright status acceptable to use on
either
our
from
podcast?
either from the same place, If it's music, it's from there.
Oh, so you've been getting stuff from Incompetech.com?
Yeah. Or just generic, like, sound file dump places. What were you even talking about?
Train of thought. Well, we were talking about the Splatoon movie.
Well, yeah, but then we got sidetracked by...
The Splatoon heist film.
Yeah, we got sidetracked by the idea of other good films.
Merlin! Remember the Merlin, the two-parter made by Australians?
Oh, it's fantastic.
With Sam Mother effing Neill in it?
Yeah.
Merlin's really good.
Speaking of other films, what about... Because we mentioned it just before. What about Highlander?
Highlander is...
Like a good reboot. Isn't it going to be a reboot?
A reboot of Highlander? Oh... Does that brand still have any traction? I mean, they pretty much ruined it with the next 4 movies, didn't they?
And then the TV show.
The TV show was reportedly all right. The anime is atrocious.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Remember the anime?
Yeah, it was.
I don't think we made it through a single episode. I tried. I gave it a shot.
Sorry, I'm just reading about the reboot for Highlander, which is happening.
So they're actually rebooting
Well, they were. As of November 2014, the studio wanted actor Tom Cruise in the role of Ramirez. So that's who Sean Connery was.
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
I could except Tom Cruise is really short.
As of February 11th this year, Dave Bautista has been cast as the Kurgan.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I think he's a worthy successor to Mr.
Yeah,
Clancy Brown.
basically they were going to do it a couple of years ago, and then they went on hiatus because people went and did other things, and now they've come back to it.
Who are they getting to be Christopher Lambert?
I don't think they've confirmed that. Wait, no, hang on. Ryan Reynolds.
Get out of here.
So in June 2012, Ryan Reynolds was confirmed to play Connor MacLeod in the remake. However, okay. So no, Reynolds has dropped out, so they haven't recast him. So it could still end up being Reynolds if they ask him to come back, because they've already got a contract pretty much in place for him, and he would just have to sign on again. But it doesn't look likely. But he might come back. I don't know. I mean, we're going to see him in Deadpool next year. Is that next year?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is next year.
But it is actually happening. That is the weirdest sort of will they, won't they?
I think it was
Hollywood
because of the
story.
game, to be honest.
The game was terrible.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
No, I don't think it was because of the game. I was thinking it was because... Wait, do Marvel have the Deadpool license, or is Sony making it?
I think Sony's making it.
Yeah, okay. There's your answer. That's why Deadpool is being made.
Yeah.
Because they need to make the film or relinquish the license.
Although
just like all the other Marvel properties that they keep making films of.
Although we're actually going to get to see Spider-Man in Marvel-made things.
Yes. Opening those negotiations...
was a genius move.
Well, it was the only move. They badly needed to do it.
It's going to be so much fun seeing... did you watch all of the Daredevil?
Oh, yes, I've seen all of Daredevil now.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about Daredevil?
Yeah. But there's going to be another season, and in the second season, Spider-Man's going to be in it.
That is so cool. Wait, there's going to be a Spider-Man TV show?
No, there's not going to be a TV show, but to introduce him into the universe, he's going to be appearing in their shows and the Defenders when they do it all together, and then he's going to be moving into the films. So to build up that recognition of him being in the universe, he's eventually going to be in the Avengers.
In the MCU.
Yeah, he's going to be in...
But they're putting him in the MTU first.
Yeah.
Skinhead on the MTBA.
Daredevil was good.
Daredevil was good. I think it starts a little weak.
Yes.
I think the first two episodes will play a lot better on rewatching, because there's basically a whole bunch of character talky crap for characters that you don't yet care about. But by the end, you really care about them.
Senor Froggy?
Senor Froggy. Oh, I love Senor Froggy. He is the heart and soul of the show.
Oh, he's fantastic. You know, that's the one of the guys from Mighty Ducks, right?
Which guy?
The goalie?
No, the goalie is of darker complexion than Senor Foggy.
Oh, sorry. It's been a really long time, and I've only ever seen the Mighty Ducks once. But he's in the Mighty Ducks. Look it up.
I don't think he's Charlie. Talk about the things you liked about that, and I'll look him up.
Well, I like the fact that his superpower wasn't dumb, which was good. I like the fact that Kingpin isn't... Kingpin wasn't basically some huge fat guy in a dark room rubbing his hands together saying money, money, money. in this one, he's actually trying to do the right thing. He's just an absolute arsehole about it.
Oh my god, he's Fulton!
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
He's the badass ringer kid from the Mighty Ducks.
There you go. And yet in this, he's a total dweeb.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. So as soon as, because I watched that with Kate, and she said, "Oh my god, that's what's his face from Mighty Ducks."
Yeah, Fulton.
Yeah.
Fulton Reed.
Yeah, it was awesome. I liked the fact that the guy who played the Kingpin, whose name I can never remember, and I feel
I would like to step in for a moment.
okay.
The man whose name you are struggling to remember is Vincent D'Onofrio.
Thank you.
I just want to say I am amazed they were able to get the planning permits necessary to film him indoors.
Why?
Okay, my joke has sailed over your head.
Is it because he's
Vincent
huge?
D'Onofrio is the size of a barn.
Is he?
What?
Well, I mean, I know he would have.
What show did you
Well,
watch?
he's a big guy, yeah, but
He's a man-mountain.
yeah, I like the fact that he was kind of autistic,
Yeah, yes, I guess.
but he wasn't. He didn't do it in a dumb way.
A neuro-atypical, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I really liked his character. I really dug the Kingpin because
Oh yeah,
he's completely relatable
yeah.
for almost the entire thing, and he's like, he and Daredevil have the same flaw.
Oh yeah.
Which is a temper, basically.
Yep. Except Daredevil has better superpowers.
Daredevil has better superpowers, and Mr. Fisk channels his rage far less effectively than Daredevil. It's kind of weird because Daredevil does almost nothing to undermine Kingpin.
Yeah.
He vanquishes. Sorry, spoilers. He vanquishes one of his partners,
Yes.
and Fisk kills the rest himself,
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
or drives them off. In the case of Madame Gao,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a Greek tragedy.
And
It's just brought down by his flaw, not necessarily by the hero.
also, you know the image on all the little packets of heroin? Or whatever the fuck the drug was?
the little dragon sigil.
Yeah, that's a reference to something that's going to be coming up in Iron Fist.
Cool.
That's actually the symbol of the Steel Serpent, if I remember correctly.
I will struggle and fail to care.
I should really get you to read that one really, really, really good arc of Iron Fist.
I'd probably very much enjoy it.
I think it's like 3 volumes. It's really cool. It's actually really, really cool. Like if you wanted to just read, if you wanted to get why exactly I like Iron Fist, you just have to read 3 volumes and that's it.
Well, that's easy to get.
Yeah.
I can soldier through that.
I think they're like $9 or $10 a piece on Comixology. So I'll send you the links or something. It's fantastic. And anyone else who's out there who's interested in those, email us in at what is it again, Chris?
It's a thirdplacejoke@gmail.com. Wait, why are they emailing us?
About if they wanted to read Iron Fist. Or if you guys know other Iron Fist stuff that you want Chris to read. Or just, if you want Chris to complain about things for you.
I'll complain about things. I'll complain about anything.
Yeah, like
anything that annoys me.
Yeah, like if you have something that you really love and you want to hear a grown man complain about it on an internet radio show, please tell us about it, and Chris will complain about it.
I don't think Return of the King was very good. I think the battle scenes were extremely self-indulgent, not at all in keeping with the spirit of Tolkien's masterwork.
Okay.
I actually believe everything I just said, but I said it in a silly voice to take the sting off.
Fair enough. That's one man's opinion.
It is.
Yeah.
Are you not bored by Return of the King? I'm bored shitless by Return of the King.
Which one's Return of the King? What happens in it again?
It's the third one. It has the big climactic battle between Gondor and the forces of Sauron.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then between Gondor and the forces of Ghosts. And then between Ghosts and the forces of Sauron.
And then ghosts and a couple of elephants. That bit's good.
Yeah, I don't think that Ghosts and elephants are ever on screen at the same time,
No, they are.
but there are definitely elephants.
There's this bit where the ghosts rampage up the side of an elephant and then tear it down. It's fantastic. It's like the best visual in the whole film. Like 50 ghosts just punching an elephant. It's also the movie where
Legolas surfs down an elephant's trunk.
Yeah, but he'd already, surfed down a set of stairs on a shield.
Yes, but that was radical, Sean. This was silly.
Yeah. It still only counts as one.
Why did you sound like he was from Brooklyn?
I don't know.
or Staten Island, maybe.
Staten Island.
Forget about it.
Forget it, you fugazi.
Did I tell you about Forget About It?
baguette about it.
Yeah.
No?
Oh, okay. I can. This is the whole thing. I had a brilliant idea for what my sketch this week was going to be. It was going to be about a guy reading an ad for a New York bakery called Baguette About It.
Okay. You've been watching
And he
too
gets
much
halfway through
Bob's
and then he's
Burgers.
disgusted with the idea and he stops. But then I went to Google and I googled Baguette About It. There's a fucking chain of the things.
Yeah,
I just felt I felt disgusted at myself.
There's a limited number of puns in the world, Chris.
I guess, but still, Baguette About It is pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious, yeah.
I probably wasn't going to be the first person to have thought of that, but I hoped it would be a joke and not a real thing. But it's a real.
Yeah, you got to go deeper, Chris. You got to find.
Takes all the sting out
You
of
got
it.
to try and find a one that you can make with, I don't know, brioche or something like that.
Brioche about it. Nah, it's just
No.
it's not as good. It's not as good. So who would you cast in our Splatoon film that we... Sorry, it's not even a Splatoon movie. In our video game collectible heist film...
Okay, yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be about that. Just, yeah. I don't know. Should we get Vinnie Jones as the hard man?
Yes, Vinnie Jones is always the hard man.
Yep, okay, cool. Because we're getting Guy Ritchie to direct, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, Vinnie Jones
Fill
is
with
the hard
cockneys for effect.
Yep. Please don't sue us.
No,
You know who you are.
Sean, no one will understand that reference.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, it's basically just you and me and the people who actually wrote that song.
Yeah. But who are the characters that we need to have? We've got to have our thief, who is presumably someone who works at the distribution center.
Is it going to be like an Ocean's
Stolen
11 style? Is there going to be a group of
No,
thieves?
no, because it's a nothing heist. It's the van was unlocked and the guy took it.
Okay.
That's it. I don't think it's that complicated a job. I think the drama is the fact that how the fuck do you dispose of Splatoon figures?
Okay, well,
Of amiibos in
it'll
general.
also have to be a slight character arc build at the beginning because he's got to decide to steal the truck.
Yeah, okay. We can make him relatable, even though he is a thief who stole a thing that a bunch of people would have enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's not like stealing art from a rich person. This is one of those really difficult to justify yourself crimes.
Yeah, it's not like the house invasions you and I do.
Yeah. No, those people need to be taught a lesson.
Yeah. Those knees need.
And the lesson
need to be
is your
broken.
dog's on fire.
Yeah.
Dark.
So we've got Vinny. Do we want Martin Freeman, since we were speaking of him before, as our beleaguered worker of the DC, of the distribution center?
Yeah, either we go with someone who is like too old to be working at this shit job.
Yeah.
But then we have to figure out a reason why he would know that they're valuable.
Just being in there would be enough.
I mean, most people in their 40s are not aware that amiibos are a hot ticket item.
Well, that would be giving us an excuse to bring in, like, a third man sort of thing.
You want to cast Orson Welles?
Isn't he dead?
He is. But he was in a movie called The Third Man.
I know.
Then why are you... Oh. I'm sorry, my awesome jokes are not landing at all tonight.
No, they are. It's just
this accursed beer.
They're landing. It's just they're not funny.
Well, it's a good thing they're not funny, otherwise they'd be on comedy gold. Ha!
Yeah. Okay.
Da, then.
Done. Okay, so first 15, 20 minutes he decides, fuck it, I've had enough of this, I'm stealing these things because they're going to make me some money. And then, you have, 5 to 10 minutes for the actual heist?
I just figured out who our antagonist is going to be.
Okay.
It's going to be some 17-year-old gamer who is so incensed that his amiibos have been denied him that he goes on a vigilante rampage to find the culprit.
Swear to me!
Swear to me! So the two sides of the story are our thief, who will be broadly sympathetic, and our incensed consumer, who is just unreasonably furious that his expensive toy has been taken away from him.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so we established both those sort of at the start. Then there's the heist itself, which is like piss easy.
Yeah, because he's basically what we would do is we'd have loads and loads of dramatic shots of him doing really banal things.
Yeah,
Like opening a door and...
We'll just completely rip off Edgar Wright's entire shtick from Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay, we'll get... No, okay, you know who's directing this? Edgar Wright. Fuck off, Guy Ritchie.
All right, cool, yeah. No, fair
Maximum
enough.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah, let's get Edgar Wright in.
Edgar Wright in.
Yeah. The guy who turned down Ant-Man. Yeah, we should be fine getting him.
Yeah, well,
We can't discount Ant-Man. We don't know whether or not it's actually any good yet.
True. That means, hey, if we've already got him...
Yeah.
I forgot his fucking name.
Who? Sean...
No, the director we just mentioned.
Edgar Wright?
Edgar Wright, thank you, sorry. His name fell out of my brain.
Right.
We can get Simon Pegg.
You want Simon Pegg as our person? As our protagonist?
Yeah, I think it might be Simon Pegg.
Should Nick Frost be our antagonist?
No, they're
for
too
fun?
obviously the same age. We do need someone younger.
Younger, okay.
To be our vigilante lunatic. It would be much funnier if he doesn't look the part, like the nerdy guy, the lead from The Inbetweeners. What's his name?
Oh, right, yeah.
Briefcase Wanker.
Yeah, Briefcase Mong.
Yeah. Briefcase Mong? Is that what they call him?
They also call him that, yes.
Okay, we can get Briefcase Mong in to be the vigilante.
Yeah. I was also thinking the guy who played Red Mist in Kick-Ass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's kind of already played that role.
Yeah. But he's also played McLovin, so, you know.
Ah, yes, the classic role of McLovin. Which Roger Ebert, no doubt, would love.
You don't know who McLovin is, do you?
Yeah, he's from Superbad.
Oh,
I've never seen Superbad. I know who he is.
Okay.
And I think it writes itself from there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Said Chris, gracefully segueing out of the segment.
Oh, that nearly came out my nose.
Mission accomplished. It's going to be... Hang on. Alright, so that'll do that for this. And now, a thing.
You have called the home of Rachel and Hernando Watkins. We're not in right now, but please leave a message after the beep.
Hold on, I got to. There it is. Welcome to Scrape and Tape, Ukraine premier movie analysis podcast. My name is Alexei Krochhammer, and I'm your host. Normally this would be on my website, but the Apache disk for my PlayStation Portable got a scratch on it, so I have no web hosting till I can replace. Until then, I will be doing the podcast onto people's answering machines. It take a bit longer, but this is important, and I think people need to hear. Today I will be reviewing the 1993 children's classic, The Care Bears Go to Baltimore, and really it's just a shit show from beginning to end. Rick Berman, who would later go on to ruin Star Trek, is utterly out of his depth as a director of animation, a role he's never had before or since. Large sections of the movie contain little or no character movement, which is explained away by mess ennui caused by drug violence and police rape. Swift-Heart, my favorite Care Bears character, is voiced entirely by archive recordings of Danny Glover, and her only line of dialogue is Mel Gibson and I never spoke outside of work. This is especially baffling as Mel Gibson features prominently in the second act, and she speaks to him many times. At several points, the Care Bears attempt to teach drug dealers the value of friendship, but they succeed only in inciting them to vicious, racially motivated beatings and casual arson. The final scene is supposed to depict the climactic battle between the Care Bears and the Careless Bears, which were new antagonists introduced 5 minutes before the film's end, but it is clearly done with sock puppets in a 7-Eleven bathroom. At several points, you can hear a grown man sobbing and the clink of bottles. Despite doing quite well at the box office, I don't believe that this entry in the Care Bears universe will ultimately stand the test of time. I give it 2 out of 5 Fountains of Gladness. Now, the next movie I want to cover this week is 2004's The Matrix Again, The Quest for More Matrix.
Welcome back. Thanks to our foreign correspondent Alexei Krochhammer for that report from the field.
Okay, well now I'm obligated to put that in.
Yeah, now you are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sean. You've made my job easier.
No worries. I do what I can. And I do it with pride. So I wanted to talk to you about...
Okay, sorry. You had a good intro.
Yeah.
You got it going. Continue.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of watching the other day the pilot for a show called Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. And
tell me about Mr. Robot, Sean.
I will. It is easily 6'2". No, the best depiction of computing and hacking in TV or cinema I've ever seen.
It's the best depiction of computer.
Damn it, hello, computer!
Really?
Really.
Okay, so
the premise is the main character chappie, his name is Elliot, and he works... Elliot. And he works for a cybersecurity firm. And by night, he is a hacker vigilante.
A hacker vigilante.
A
hacktivist, if you will.
I don't know if it goes that far, because he's a little bit... he's got social anxiety and a bunch of other stuff wrong with him.
What, like his legs are gone? What else is wrong with him?
No, it's all mental stuff. So, basically, like, not only do they have...
Scared ladies, so I hack for justice.
No. He can put it away.
Good Lord, Sean. I say that is a bit much.
I'm sorry. So he's... Yeah, so he in the first 5 minutes of the show, he basically shows some guy that he's going to absolutely fuck him with his hackming. And it's fantastic. And
get back to the realistic depiction of hacking.
The fact that they talk about...
How does he do a hacking?
Well, the fact that they talk about DDoS attacks...
Okay. The fact that they actually named a specific thing that you could do to people you don't like on the internet, is way up there.
Yes.
But a DDoS doesn't grant you access. Usually, it just
no.
removes
Like,
the service.
He gets called in because the company that
is being DDoSed.
Yeah.
Oh.
He gets called in at 3 a.m. and he has to do a bunch of shit to try and make it work. And I'm not going to give it away because they actually make it kind of suspenseful.
Wait, you mean rather than just having everything be resolved by magic, they actually have a mystery? Like a computer security mystery?
Well, it's not a computer security mystery. It's like...
Oh, I'm a little let down now.
But it's like a good 2 minutes of him figuring out and circumventing them completely getting fucked forever.
That's pretty cool. So why is it called Mr. Robot? Is it because he is...
Because there is a character in it who is referred to as Mr. Robot, who is played by Christian Slater.
Christian Slater?
Christian Slater.
The guy from Archer?
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing else Christian Slater has ever been in.
He's been in a bunch of films from the 80s and early 90s. But,
is he cool in this?
Yeah, he is.
Now, there's a big question here, Sean, and it's important. Does anyone at any point scream, hack the planet?
No, they don't.
Does anybody hack the Gibson?
No.
Does anyone have a rad screen name?
No.
What is the protagonist's handle?
He doesn't have one.
I am very let down by this television show.
No, like, not only does it have all those elements of him, like, properly doing shit on a computer. Like, Chris, they talk about GNOME.
Talk about GNOME?
GNOME. You know what GNOME is?
It's the, it's a Linux GUI, right?
Yeah.
That's my brain's falling out.
Yeah. 2 characters very briefly mention the fact that he's running GNOME.
But is it germane to the plot, or are they just sort of dropping
it's germane to the plot. Whoever's writing this either knows what they're talking about or thought to themselves, you know what, we're really going to need to employ some people who can tell me what I need to put in.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah. So the
sounds pretty interesting. I'm probably going to give it a look.
So you can watch the pilot online, or you can...
Sorry, what was that word that rhymed with borrant?
Abhorrent.
Gotcha.
So you can abhorrent it. So that's just the pilot. The show itself, so the pilot goes on telly later in June.
It goes on the telly.
It goes on the telly box, but you can watch it online. They've made it available for everyone to watch.
Which company is responsible for this?
Showcase.
Man, speaking of watching things online, you know Hola, the VPN that we used to use to watch Netflix on our computers?
Yeah.
Are you still using it?
Nope.
Okay.
Why?
So, basically, Hola has turned into a botnet client.
Wait, seriously?
Yep, it installs shit on your computer, and then they sell the right to run arbitrary code on your machine to third parties, while harvesting all the personal details that they can get their hands on.
Whoa!
Yeah, Hola is really, really nasty. Stay the fuck away from it, everybody.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that anymore.
Hola!
I only did it for, 6 months, and then I did something else.
Yeah, well, my computer has crashed, and I say crashed. My Windows install has balked itself, and I had to restart again.
Bork, bork, bork.
Since I last used Hola, so anything that it might have put on my machine is long gone. But still, there's an XKCD comic years ago.
Yeah.
Where, there's the character who always wears a black hat.
Yes. I just call him Black Hat in my head.
Yes, Black Hat. So Black Hat says, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a sort of novel but kind of useful web service, and it's going to require an email address and a password when you register it. And then I will probably have thousands and thousands of email addresses and the passwords to those email addresses.
Right.
Which I'll then use to steal everyone's identity.
Right.
And this is my plan. And the alt text was something like, the first dozen times this happens, we're all going to be really surprised. I'm still waiting for that to happen.
What, for people to actually say anything about it? Or I'm sure it's actually happened.
It probably has happened at least once, but I'm waiting for the big story of, Facebook was just harvesting your email passwords all these years. That's all it was for. It would be especially great if it was like a valued service.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps like something that everyone uses, like Instagram. Oh, yes, Instagram was just stealing your identity. That was the only reason it existed.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they sold the business to Facebook for $1 jillion was just a side benefit.
Oh, yeah. They still had access to all of that stuff that you gave them.
They have all your social securities.
And all your nude pics.
All your nude pics. Oh, nude pics.
Yep. But anyway, go and watch Mr. Robot. Go and watch it tonight. It's incredible. Not only does it do that, they actually humanize a guy who believes that you are an imaginary... Like, he believes that the people who are watching the show are an imaginary friend that he came up with.
Hang on, I think you're giving away a little bit too much there.
No, he says that.
Also, why would that character be difficult to empathize with?
No. Because the way they've portrayed the underbelly of the internet, everyone on there is either a pervert or a rapist. It's difficult to describe because there's some bits in that are incredibly humanizing moments for that character.
Yeah,
and I don't want to give them away because you seeing them is the good bit.
I don't really get what you're talking about, but I will watch the show.
You will when you watch it.
Okay, I'll watch the show and we will discuss it in detail next week. So that's a little homework assignment for anyone who actually gives a shit. Go watch the pilot of Mr. Robot.
Yeah, you can.
And we can all enjoy it together.
I think you can watch it directly on their website. So definitely go and watch that. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. But yeah, so I mean, we could talk about now really shitty depictions of computing in television and cinema.
Did we already do this once?
No, we haven't.
Fuck it, we'll do it again.
Yeah, okay.
There's a YouTube video that everyone should watch, which I think is called 2 Idiots, 1 Keyboard.
I haven't seen it.
And it's a scene from NCIS where their network is being attacked at the NCIS building, and the goth chick, what's her name? Abby.
I don't know. I never watched
Abby, and who is she's meant to be a forensic scientist, but she's also a computer hacker for reasons. And McGee, who is the nerdy guy on the team, are moving to repel the network intrusion, and they are both at the same computer, at the same keyboard, typing away furiously in order to de-hack the hacking.
What? Like, so they're pretending they're like two pianists?
Yes, they're doing a duet, but on a keyboard. Because that's how it works, Sean. That's how computers work.
What? Many, many years ago, my dad told me something when we were watching some movie where they were just like, oh, they're hacking us. And someone sat down and tried to anti-hack them. through the computer. He sat there, and when they got to the end of the scene, he paused the movie and he turned to me and said, "Sean, if you ever know that someone's hacking you, just turn your computer off."
He was not wrong.
Just pull the power plug out.
Depictions of technology in TV, it's usually worse in TV.
Yeah.
Compared to movies. I think they aim lower.
Hack the Planet.
Hack the Planet. God, Hackers is amazingly bad.
Yeah.
Some departures from reality I can sort of accept. Look, the fact that on CSI, CCTV cameras can read...
They're magic.
Yeah, they can read the reflection of a number plate in the eye of
they're
an
basically
insect
like the
2
cameras
blocks
out
away.
of Blade Runner.
Yeah, they're actually even better.
I don't know, because you can reproduce the 3D image from the cameras in Blade Runner.
But that I can sort of accept because it's like, okay, the act was observed. We have a recording of it.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid because the only reason they even do the enhance bit is to make the characters look smarter.
Why do they do that?
So it was a piece of good fortune that the actors recorded on tape.
Right.
And then they need to turn it into a Herculean effort of technological prowess for them to, oh yes, we can enhance it. Well, you could just say, oh look, we can see the license number. And the plot outcome would be the same.
Yeah.
There's no need to have all
Just
that
have
shit.
them do it off screen. Yeah, we went
actually...
and did some computer magic, and now we've got everything we need on this person.
There was a show called Las Vegas,
right,
which was actually way trashier than I realized because the version I saw, which was on Channel 7, was heavily censored.
Oh, okay.
Compared to the uncut version that was broadcast on cable television. But the show is basically set around a bunch of people working in the security department of a Las Vegas hotel.
Right.
So they would look for card cheats and people doing crimes on the floor.
Right.
And they had, a huge array of surveillance cameras.
Well, they would,
Which
yeah.
was... Yeah, of course.
That makes
there's
sense.
cameras everywhere in Vegas. You see the control room, it's just dozens of screens.
It's like that scene at a Batman.
Exactly. Except slightly less ridiculous.
And no Morgan Freeman.
And all they did was just go, oh yeah, we just saw the person do the thing on the camera. They didn't need to do the zoom in enhance nonsense. I'm probably wrong. They probably did it at least once. But I feel mostly they were sensible about it.
Yeah.
And the story just works better because
that's how you actually would act in real life.
Yeah, well, a certain percentage of your audience will be alienated every time you do something willfully stupid.
Yeah.
In the narrative. And it's not necessary. It's not needed for the story, so why would you do it? Other than to make it look like magic, I guess. Oh, that's nothing over compared to the Second Life episode of CSI New York.
Haven't seen it. I've never watched.
Oh no, I'm sure you haven't.
I've never watched it.
There is an episode in Second Life. They chase a murderer through Second Life.
Wouldn't it be easier to just, look at an IP and then go and shoot him in the head?
Well, I mean, they'd need to... Oh, sorry. Subpoena. Is that the right word?
Probably.
Subpoena someone from Linden Labs for the IP of the offender, but...
I'm pretty sure that there'd be loads of subpoenas to do that.
But yes, there is many simpler ways to get someone rather than actually pursuing them through a game.
That's so dumb. Isn't that like a Tom Clancy novel?
Yeah. Oh, Net Force Explorers.
Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't actually written by Tom Clancy. It was written by someone else. It was like the video games that just have his name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a bunch of stories about kids with neural computer interfaces.
Yep. I only remember the MMO one.
Playing games. Yeah, the MMO one was cool.
Yeah, the one where they're tracking a murderer.
Yeah, someone found a way to kill people through the internet.
You die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what the exploit was, but he figured out some way to kill people.
Yeah, I think it was...
Maybe it was just breaking into their homes and stabbing them.
Maybe. It's been 15 years since I read that book.
Yeah, the setting was a fantasy world. And
it was essentially WoW.
Yeah, but it was cooler than that, because the way it worked was, there were multiple settings. It was like a sci-fi world, and a post-apocalyptic world,
right,
and a fantasy world. But they all existed on the same server, and they shared borders.
Mm-hmm.
So your fantasy character could walk over into post-apocalypse land.
Yeah.
It was like, Planescape? Is that the name of the multiverse thing in Dungeons & Dragons?
Oh, yeah, it is, actually.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. But, magic wouldn't work in post-apocalypse world, and guns wouldn't work in fantasy world.
Yeah.
So you could move these things backwards and forwards, but they would be of limited value. And there's actually a subplot about people always trying to get black powder weapons working in the fantasy world because of how powerful it would be.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
Those books were cool.
I only read the one, I think.
I read them all. I read all the ones I could find. I read a bunch of super terrible young adult fiction in my teenage years.
Well, that's 'cause
some of which I've attempted to go back and look at again, and it's usually not that good.
they're usually all pretty bad. There's not been a lot of decent young adult fiction.
Oh wow, Sean.
What?
I think there probably has been, and there's a lot of authors who work exclusively in that genre who are doing very fine work.
Where are they?
The genre isn't really.
They're certainly not, being talked about.
They are, but they're not talked about anywhere where we would care about.
Well,
because we're not the target audience anymore.
What about that whole period of time where I worked for 7 years in bookstores?
I don't know how you could have failed to absorb any information about young adult literature.
There was a couple of young adult novels that were actually decent, but it is far outweighed by the shit. Like, young adult is probably one of the biggest...
one of the worst signal-to-noise ratio
yeah,
genres?
exactly.
Yeah.
For every... And I'm just going to put it out there because I love it. For every Redwall, there's 100 Twilights.
The problem, I think, said Chris, speaking with imagined authority about a genre he doesn't read.
As a mid to late 20-year-old?
The line between a... How do I even put this into words? Some books are just good and also easily digestible by teenagers.
Yeah.
Some books are deliberately pitched at teenagers and would only ever be read because that's the genre of crap that they read at that time in their lives.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I agree with you up to a certain point on that.
Yeah.
I mean, although I remember being a teenager and I remember being a fucking moron as well, being a teenager. I mean, I'm still a moron now, I'm just a better one.
An older one, certainly.
Yeah. Fuck you. And there's a bunch of stuff, even when I was a teenager, I recognized it as bad. And there's a bunch of stuff that I've gone back and read now and thought, that was actually a pretty good book. I mean, I don't enjoy it as much now because I'm at a completely different time in my life, but I can still recognize it as being a decent book and certainly great for a teenager.
Yeah, often it leads to disappointment. I tried to reread Mortal Engines.
Yeah, no, you got me to read them.
Yeah.
I can understand why a teenager would love those books.
Yeah, absolutely. They have not aged well.
Well, it's not that they've aged well, it's that we've aged. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. That
said, I absolutely love the concept of that world.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Municipal Darwinism.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should bash Garth Nix.
Don't bash Garth Nix.
Keys to the Kingdom sucks.
Did you actually hate it?
I hated the ending. The ending was
I agree with you.
The biggest load of arse-pull
The ending was dumb.
bullshit. Most of it was pretty good.
Goodbye, Rainer.
Goodbye, Rainer, indeed. But every single book in that series reads like he hit his word count.
Yep.
And then just had to rush an ending.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. The pacing and the structure, and just everything goes completely to shit in the last
third.
Yeah, the last third.
So you like the first 2/3 of almost every one of those?
Pretty much, yes.
I like the idea, but then again, I mean, it's...
We should hang on, just to step back. Mortal Engines is about a post-apocalyptic world where cities run around on tank treads eating each other.
Yep. And before you get any ideas, I know it sounds like the cities are alive. They're not alive. Chris fails to mention that they don't actually eat each other. They just open up these big troughs and suck them in, and then the people who live in the cities...
Well, I mean, they eat for value. Yes, the cities are inhabited, and they consume each other.
They're not... The cities aren't alive.
The cities are not sentient.
Yeah. I assumed they were, and I was a little bit let down. Don't laugh at me. That would have been a great book.
Oh, London will forever be silent.
Yeah. Come on, don't tell me you wouldn't want to read...
Keys to the Kingdom is about someone discovering that he's destined to take over from God.
Yeah, if he wasn't destined to take over for God, that would have been.
I think he actually is destined. I think he's just chosen.
Yeah.
By a character, it doesn't matter. It's about basically there's a place called the House,
which is essentially heaven.
It's essentially heaven, but it's like a super universe.
Yep.
That joins to our universe, and that's where like all the structure and order and bureaucracy of the universe takes place.
The cosmos.
the cosmos. And a lot of it is about sort of negotiating this very different social and bureaucratic setting from the perspective of a kid.
I think
And that stuff's kind of cool. It has a very disappointing ending.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go out and find a young adult book and read it.
I could give you some.
Nope, I'm going to go get one from a place. From a place with a guy.
I live in a place and I am a guy.
Oh, okay. The last young adult book you gave me was Skullduggery Pleasant.
They're not actually young adult. Well, I mean, they should be young adult, but they're not classed as young adult.
They're young adult books.
No. I'm agreeing with you, but
Yeah.
from a publisher's standpoint, they're not young adult. They don't class them as young adult as a publisher.
What do they class them as?
They class them as, intermediate.
Intermediate? Is
Intermediate
that
fiction.
above or below young adult?
8 to 12 is what they
8 to 12, oh.
Yeah, they are not 8 to 12. The first book, maybe. After the first book, no.
Yeah, well, I only managed to read the first book. I completely lost me after the second one. Character unironically called herself Valkyrie Kane.
And?
Well...
You got to remember...
You know what, that's not even... Okay, I take that back. That's not even the thing that annoyed me. It's just boring.
Yeah. But
the book is just boring.
You got to remember, when you're an 8 to 12-year-old...
You're very impressed by names.
Well,
when you're 8 to 12, you think The Crow is a good film.
Well, when you're 8 to 12, all this stuff would be new to you. We've already had all of this stuff when we read the umpty bajillion other books that we've read.
What do you mean by this stuff? Stupid names?
Well, yes, but also that feeling that you get when you read a book like this for the first time.
I guess. There's this kind of snobbery that you sort of develop, where you assume that everything that came before you is either a classic or garbage. Everything that was around at the time when you were consuming it is the best. And everything they make now is shit.
Not true.
I know it's not true, but that's the kind of way you feel. If you don't examine things critically, you can very easily fall into that assumption.
That's not how I feel. There's a bunch of stuff that's coming out now that I'm really either liking or really looking forward to.
Oh yeah, for many, many years I looked down on the current state of children's television saying, oh, this is all just shit. But it's actually kind of picked up in the last few years.
He said as a mid to late 20-year-old.
Yeah, I really like watching brightly coloured cartoon shows.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
And they don't make them for people my age, so I have to watch the kids' ones.
I think, Chris, they kind of do.
They cancelled Young Justice. Fuck.
All right, I think we should probably stop now.
They cancelled Young Justice.
Yes, they cancelled Young Justice and then replaced it with a bunch of shit. We all know, Chris. We all know.
All right, that's going to do it for Comedy Bronze for this week.
Yep. Tune in next time when Chris cries on the air about Young Justice.
I'll get started now.
It's okay, buddy. Let it out. Let it out. Who's my big boy?
I am. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Comedy Bronze. But if you were offended by Sean's flagrant racism, or if you just have a question you want to ask us, why don't you send an email to thirdplacejoke@gmail.com. That's kind of a crap way to end. Stay frasty.